You incompetent fool, how could you?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to!
Sorry isn't enough! You're fired!
The sound of the slap echoed across the silent restaurant. Conversations stopped. Glasses froze mid-air. The billionaire stood there, furious, pointing at the shy waitress and shouting, "You stole from me." She didn't cry. She didn't argue. Instead, with trembling fingers, she pulled out her phone and whispered 3 words that changed everything: "Dad, it's happening." And when the man on the other end arrived, the billionaire, the man who feared nothing, forgot how to breathe. The restaurant was known for hosting the elite. Politicians, celebrities, and powerful businessmen filled its velvet chairs every night. Among them sat Leonard Grayson, a tech billionaire whose name was attached to skyscrapers and headlines. He was respected for his intelligence, and feared for his temper. Working quietly between the tables was Emily. She was 22, soft-spoken, almost invisible in the busy room. She avoided eye contact, spoke gently, and carried herself with careful politeness. Most customers barely noticed her. She preferred it that way. Emily had grown up understanding silence. Her mother passed away when she was young, leaving her to be raised by her father, a man who valued integrity above everything. He always told her, "Your name is worth more than money. Protect it." That night, Leonard was hosting foreign investors. The table glittered with expensive watches and louder egos. Emily approached carefully, serving wine with steady hands. As she leaned forward, Leonard suddenly stiffened. His hand went to his inner jacket pocket. His expression darkened. "My watch," he said sharply. "It's gone." The table fell quiet. "This is a limited edition. It was here 5 minutes ago." His eyes locked onto Emily. "You were the only one close enough." Her heart skipped. "Sir, I didn't." Before she could finish, his hand struck her across the face. The slap was so sudden, so violent, that she stumbled back into a chair. Gasps filled the room. "You think I don't know a thief when I see one?" Leonard shouted. Her cheek burned, but her voice remained fragile and steady. "I would never steal." Security rushed forward. The manager looked torn between defending his employee and protecting his richest client. Leonard pointed at her. "Search her bag." Emily felt humiliation crawl over her skin. Her co-workers watched helplessly. Some guests even whispered, assuming guilt. Her bag was emptied onto the table: lip balm, a small notebook, her phone, a folded photo of her and her father. No watch. Leonard's jaw tightened. "Then you hid it." Tears welled in her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Slowly, she picked up her phone. Her hands were shaking, not from fear, but from something deeper. She dialed. When the call connected, she spoke quietly. "Dad, it's happening." There was silence on the other end. "I didn't do anything wrong," she whispered. Leonard scoffed. "Calling for backup?" She ended the call and stood still. Minutes felt like hours. Then the restaurant doors opened. The man who entered did not wear a flashy suit. He didn't arrive with bodyguards or loud confidence. But the moment the manager saw him, his posture changed. "Director Harris," the manager breathed. Leonard turned. Standing near the entrance was Robert Harris, the newly appointed National Financial Crimes Director. The man leading multiple investigations into corporate fraud, tax evasion, and embezzlement. Including one involving Leonard Grayson's companies. Robert's gaze immediately found Emily. He saw the red mark on her cheek. He walked toward her first. "Are you hurt?" he asked gently. She shook her head. "I'm okay." Then he turned to Leonard. "What happened here?" Leonard attempted to regain control. "Your daughter stole my watch." Robert's eyes narrowed slightly. "Do you have proof?" "She was the only one near me." Robert looked at security. Check the cameras. Leonard stiffened. That's not necessary. But it was already happening. The footage appeared on the manager's tablet. It showed Leonard removing his watch earlier and placing it beside his plate while gesturing dramatically during conversation. Moments later, one of his own investors accidentally knocked it off the table with a briefcase. The watch slid under the tablecloth, unnoticed. Emily had never touched it. The room fell into suffocating silence. Security retrieved the watch from under the table. Leonard's face drained of color. Robert spoke calmly, but each word carried weight. You assaulted my daughter. Publicly accused her without evidence. Leonard swallowed. It was a misunderstanding. Emily finally spoke, her voice soft but stronger than before. You didn't even ask me. You decided who I was. Those words pierced deeper than any accusation. The investors shifted uncomfortably. Some quietly stepped away from the table. Robert didn't shout. He didn't threaten. Power, he said evenly, doesn't make you right. It only reveals who you are. Leonard tried to recover his authority. I can compensate. My daughter is not for sale, Robert replied. The manager immediately apologized to Emily and announced new staff protection policies. Security procedures were reviewed. The restaurant made a public statement supporting their employee. But the consequences didn't end there. Within weeks, Leonard's company faced intensified scrutiny. Not because of revenge, but because arrogance often draws attention to deeper flaws. Investors reconsidered partnerships. His public image cracked. As for Emily, she returned to work, not because she had to, but because she chose to. She refused to let humiliation define her. One evening, sitting at the small kitchen table at home, she touched her cheek thoughtfully. I was scared, she admitted to her father. I know, he said softly. But I wasn't ashamed. Because I knew I didn't do anything wrong. He smiled with quiet pride. That's strength. The story spread, not as gossip, but as a reminder. A billionaire slapped a waitress and called her a thief. But what people remembered most was not the slap. It was the moment he froze, when she made a simple phone call. Because sometimes, the quietest person in the room carries the strongest truth. And sometimes, the richest man is the poorest in character. So before you judge someone by their uniform, their shyness, or their silence, remember this. Dignity cannot be stolen. But respect can be lost in a second. And once it is, not even billions can buy it back.